Have you ever seen the raw power of nature happen in front of your eyes? Have you ever wished you could see some of the scariest and most amazing nature disasters ever recorded on film? This video shows the 10 most shocking real-time videos of natural disasters. Are you ready to see impossible things and learn about how strong the Earth is? Keep watching to see these amazing things happen. Number 10. The Great Miami Tornado, which occurred in 1997. It would appear that tornadoes enjoy being in open areas. However, in May of 1997, a tornado known as F1 made the decision to head straight for Miami. It appeared as though the twister had come to the realization that it had made a mistake as it crossed the city's center, collided with a cruise liner, jumped over the majority of Biscayne Bay, overturned a car, and then disappeared. Although the damage was relatively minor, the photos of a tornado looming over skyscrapers captured the attention of people all over the world from all over the world. The footage of the Great Miami Tornado served as a startling warning that even tornadoes may make their way to the large metropolis. Of fact, tornadoes do not truly favor farms. There are just more rural areas in the world than there are metropolitan areas. Number 9. The Debris Flow at Grugnay, Switzerland. The tranquil Alpine community of Grugnay, which is located in Chechnya, Switzerland, was presented with an unanticipated and very unwelcome visitor in the month of August in 2018. The noise started out as a rumble and was initially restricted to a canal that was quite small. On the other hand, as horrified onlookers watched and videotaped, the river of black muck overflowed the canal and swept across the town, flying over roadways and crashing into houses and automobiles. The accident occurred as a result of a sudden storm that brought about tremendous rainfall, which in turn caused a river that was located higher up the mountain to overflow its banks. There were no injuries that were recorded, but there was a tremendous amount of chaos. Number 8. Eruption of Mount Ontake. When we think of volcanoes, we picture rivers of lava and a downpour of hot hell from above. We also picture fire and brimstone burning down from the sky. Pyroclastic flows, on the other hand, which are currents of gas and volcanic debris, are frequently considerably more lethal. They go downhill at rates that average 62 miles per hour, and they can sometimes be up to 7 times faster than that. At the peak of Mount Ontake, which is located on the island of Honshu in Japan, a cloud of steam and ash suddenly erupted from the peak and spread across the sky in September of 2014. This occurred while hikers were making their way up the mountain. The gushing flow was filmed by a documentary crew as well as by a hiker who was attempting to find cover as it was occurring. The hiker happened to be one of the fortunate individuals among the 63 people who lost their lives. Number 7. Earthquake that occurred in Loma Prieta in 1989. As the third game of the World Series was being played on Tuesday afternoon, October 17, 1989, hundreds of baseball fans waited with bated breath at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. Meanwhile, others watched the game on television from the comfort of their own homes. It turned out that they received something different instead. On national television, it was the first time that a significant earthquake was shown live for the first time. A short but violent earthquake with a magnitude of 6.9 on the Richter scale was caused by a slip in the San Andreas Fault. This earthquake caused the Bay Area to be thrown into turmoil, and it resulted in the deaths of 63 people and injuries to thousands more. The moment when the mundane suddenly became the unfathomable was filmed by security cameras and camcorders as customers scurried around shelves and children were jostled in their classes. Number 6. There was a meteor in Chelyabinsk in 2013. A tragedy that originates from space is typically the last form of disaster that an individual anticipates. On the other hand, meteors travel through our atmosphere more frequently than we would like to dwell on. Do you agree with me? An explosion that occurred in 1908 over the Stony Tumbeska River in Russia, which was attributed to a meteorite, was responsible for the destruction of 770 square miles of forest. In more recent times, on the morning of February 15, 2013, Russia was once again seen from space. This time, the visit took place above Chelyabinsk Oblast, which is located in the Ural area. Multiple dashboard cameras captured a blazing white light that was trailing fire across the sky before it detonated in midair, causing at least 1,500 people to be injured and shattering windows of their vehicles. Number 5. Indian Ocean Tsunami. 14 countries' coastlines were severely damaged as a result of the Indian Ocean tsunami, which was caused by a huge earthquake that occurred beneath the ocean. It is estimated that 230,000 people lost their lives as a result of this natural disaster, making it one of the greatest natural disasters in recorded history. At first, the sea began to recede in certain regions of Indonesia, Thailand, and Malaysia, which enticed people to run out onto the exposed beach and reefs. Massive tsunamis that might reach heights of up to 100 feet quickly followed. On other beaches, the initial waves appeared to be quite innocuous. However, as their power increased, they began flooding homes, hotels, and streets with their water. The world was stunned by home videos that were made during the disaster. These films showed people riding waves of debris or floating aimlessly in cities that had been submerged. Number 4. Wildfires in the state of California. In the second half of 2017, the state of California was ravaged by the most destructive wildfires in recorded history, which resulted in the destruction of nearly 10,000 structures and the deaths of 47 people. While they were driving into the blaze and putting out the flames, first responders captured breathtaking footage of the Tubbs and Atlas fires from their vehicles. On the other hand, a driver on Interstate 405 captured some of the most terrifying and unforgettable footage. While the Skirball fire in December was consuming the Sepulveda Pass near Bel Air, the entire slope appeared to be one blazing coal, giving the impression that it was a mountain of hell. A total of 422 acres were consumed by the fire before it was brought under control. Number 3. Everest Avalanche was released in 2015. In the aftermath of the Gorkha earthquake that occurred in April 2015, images from all throughout Nepal showed homes and temples being reduced to rubble. As a result of the disaster, about 9,000 people lost their life. In the meantime, the earthquake caused the mountains to shake on the surface of the earth, causing an avalanche to originate from the peak of Pumori, which is located close to Everest. The hikers at South Base Camp were the first to feel the ground shake and hear the rumble. This was followed by a tremendous snowstorm that swept over them simultaneously. As the survivors emerged from the awful accident, they found themselves in a white world filled with ripped tents and buried equipment. At least 19 individuals have been killed in the disaster. Number 2. The eruption of Mount St Helens in 1980. In the year 1980, the notorious stratovolcano in the state of Washington slowly and spectacularly built up over the course of many weeks. There was a blue flame that burnt in the craters of the stratovolcano and lightning that was formed by static charge arced through the clouds of ash. A hissing sound emanated from the peak and the ground began to shake. However, all of this was really a transition leading up to the morning of May 18th. In a single, unfathomable instant, the north flank slipped away, which resulted in a catastrophic VEI-5 eruption that tragically claimed the lives of more than 50 people. The entire mountaintop appears to dissolve and pour away like liquid during the most catastrophic eruption in the history of the United States of America, which is also the largest landslide that has ever been recorded. Number 1. 2011's Tohoku earthquake and tsunami. Images captured by the Tohoku tsunami displayed pictures of destruction that had never been seen before. In addition to the destruction of entire villages and the destruction of vessels and trash that was on fire, waves slammed into homes and carried them far inland. The tsunami, which swept across northeast Japan, was responsible for the deaths of 16,000 people and the destruction of countless dwellings. The spectacular and inexorable progress of the object had the terrifying quality of a nightmare when viewed from above. People on the ground raced up the slopes of the hills in an attempt to escape as the streets turned into rushing streams. As a result of an earthquake that was so violent that it turned the planet on its axis, these depictions of the end of the world horrified the entire world. If these incredible moments left you in awe, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more thrilling and eye-opening content. There's much more to explore.